Rain, but not always. That's better. Now I've been dragging this petulant, long-haired and relentlessly thirsty oaf around England, Ireland and Scotland, seeking out the drink that speaks for each region. And what were they, James?
England, beer. Scotland, whiskey. Ireland, that black stuff. But you know what? I think I might have discovered a drink that speaks for the whole nation. My homebrew.
Oh, God.
Yes, because during our tour, I've stolen the ingredients from all over the country.
You fathead!
3 ounces. The idea that James May might be a better brewer than me is absurd.
This is going to be good.
Well, let's see, shall we? Clark. England, Ireland, Scotland. So the only place we haven't been, then, is the Isle of Man.
Wales, you fathead.
There's lovely.
Oh, don't start doing it.
What?
Comedy.
It's not comedy.
Peer Welsh accent.
It's not. Well, it doesn't sound. There's lovely. Doesn't sound right. There's lovely.
There's lovely. I can't
lovely.
learn.
But not just Wales. We're also going to be dropping in on drink producers in Herefordshire, Gloucestershire, and some other places.
You haven't really thought this through, have you?
No, not really.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to tomorrow because that, viewers, is when our homemade beers go head-to-head at an ale festival. Don't walk right next
You're
to me.
such a prat.
But you're such a punk. Why can't
Not
you just
a
walk a
punk.
respectable distance
I was
away?
walking. I was just drifting slightly towards you in a friendly kind of manner.
Well, don't. Anyway, I think my investment in German technology is going to pay off. Oz, on the other hand, initially took a much more traditional approach, but then he cheated using malt extract as a shortcut.
I have to admit, I would prefer to use just straight malted barley, but I haven't got time.
Anyway, bottling time.
Stop saying anyway, James.
Here we go. The very first bottle of May beer.
He thinks he's got it all sewn up, but I'm certain my mastery of flavours will give me the edge. Just you wait, May.
When are you going to put your beer in the bottles?
I don't think you need worry about me and my beer.
That told him. Ah! So, back to the real business, the next leg of our journey. We're heading to a top-secret location. Try not to muck it up, James.
There it is.
What is it?
This, James, is the biggest brewery in Wales.
Why are we sneaking up on it?
They've refused us permission to go inside.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Well, they don't want us to see the machinations of what they're doing.
Are they making giant bottles of suntan lotion?
No, but you'd be hard-pressed to tell the difference.
What do they make?
Well, give me an idea of what they might make.
Beer.
Yes. Give me a country. Name me a country.
Other places whose beer they make? The Netherlands.
They make beer from the Netherlands.
Australia.
They make beer from Belgium.
Spain.
Nope.
Mexico.
No, getting closer. Big country.
Brazil.
Yes, they make beer from Brazil.
All in Wales.
But that's not all.
Wales.
They brew a beer called Boddingtons.
What?
Yes.
I thought that was supposed to be from Manchester. Welsh beer.
No. There's not a single pint of Welsh beer brewed in this brewery. It's called brewing under license. You take the labels, you take the shape, you take everything about it, but you brew it in this country, and somewhere on the packaging there'll be one small line which says brewed in the UK. I think that it is a cynical rip-off. The British consumer being told, look at this wonderful exotic foreign product you've got, and actually it's brewed in beverage plants, of which this is one example.
I think one of the essential differences between you and me, Oz, is that you care about what everybody else is drinking, and to be honest, I don't. What I do care about, though, is that there's a bloke on the top of that gantry looking at us.
I don't believe you.
What's he going to do
Stop
about
it. Stop it.
He's coming.
He's...
He is.
Don't be foolish, James.
Time to run
Where?
away from the ferocious guard sheep.
So we've discovered that well-known so-called foreign beers are not together in Britain. And talking of foreign influence, what do you think is the most popular spirit in Britain?
Absinthe?
No. Vodka. The drink of czars and oligarchs. And it's not just been drunk here, it's being made here as well by a potato farmer who usually makes crisps.
But it does seem odd that people are making vodka in Britain. It doesn't quite ring true.
He wants to have a go at making a vodka from his own potatoes.
So you're going to claim there is a terroir of mouldy old potatoes that are thrown into the vodka vat?
Well, A, they're probably not mouldy old potatoes. B, he is going to claim that terroir in the same way as a whiskey distiller from a particular place would claim terroir as well.
On this farm, they grow potatoes to make posh crisps, but some of the spuds end up here. It's the start of a vodka production line, supervised by distiller James Baxter.
This is still very much the farming end of it. People think of vodka as being very glamorous and chic and so on. We're right here, we're back into the mud. It's fantastic.
That doesn't look like a potato at all to me. So it rather lines up a flint.
This is one of those rare stone potatoes.
Yeah.
We grow potatoes here for the crisp factory. And we put them over a grader where they remove most of the stones, but not necessarily every single one of them. We need a nice big potato for making the best crisps. And historically, these small ones have been used as animal feed. There's nothing wrong with them, apart from their size. So they're perfect for me to use to make the vodka. We get peeled potatoes and then drop down into this vessel, which is a mash tun. And that's a brewing term, but obviously because we're using potatoes, it's nice to be able to use that term as well. Because that's what we're producing. It's a very runny mashed potatoes.
So you could just eat that then?
You can, and it tastes very nice, actually.
But that is the crossroads in the life cycle of the mashed potato, isn't it? It grows in the ground as a potato, it sprouts, it's picked, it goes through all this, and there comes a point in its life where it has to decide whether it wants to be part of a mashed potato-based meal or take the other fork
Now let me
and get
this.
someone blind drunk. That's an interesting choice if you're a potato. What would you do if you were a potato? You almost are.
I might actually choose the ham and peas.
So, with mash, get smashed. That's how it went, wasn't it?
That's just the pressure being relieved from the ball valve. So you'd like that with your pea and ham?
I thought, no, I assumed it would still be sort of mashy. It smells like sort of salad with dressing on it.
That's the winey thing. It's got a slightly vinegary kind of quality.
Yeah.
Dressing. Well
You
done.
reckoned without my super nose there.
You say you like this stuff.
Oh no, I wouldn't touch that with a barge pole, if I'm honest. But what it is generating, it's generating the alcohol, and that's what we want. It's all that other stuff that's in there which makes it taste pretty horrible.
It's foul.
So the simple, grubby potato that chose to become vodka is transformed into absolutely disgusting potato wine. Then it's poured into a 60-foot-high copper still, where thankfully almost all its flavour is removed.
That's a superb piece of metalworking, isn't it? Look at that, Oz.
For 3 weeks, James Baxter eats crisps, while the fermenting and distilling take care of themselves. It's then ready to be bottled.
Mr. Potato Head will be drinking, so I'll be working on the state-of-the-art production line.
Not quite straight on, James.
Yes.
No, the middle one.
I hope you're quite good at this. I was very good at lining the transfers up on Airfix models.
Perfect.
Very well done, James. But at that rate, you'd bottle about 13 a day. Well, I was just thinking, I should be getting more smell off this. It's ice cold, so the colder it is, the less smell. A smelling fact for you there, James. The colder something is, the less it smells. So I'm completely pointlessly trying to smell this. Do you actually offer to work for half price when you get jobs, James? Because you're so incredibly slow with everything.
I find this therapeutic. I'm enjoying knocking the corks into the bottles.
Simple things please simple minds.
I'm rather enjoying that.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, after all the effort
It
that's gone
is
into
sweet,
making
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's actually more almost fruit sweetness, and the creaminess it does wash across your palate.
It's lovely.
Very, very nice.
Potato, the more...
So, the humble salt and vinegar crisp is under threat from aspirational designer Cossack loopy juice. The message here is very clear. What crisps?
Now, I want you to experience a drink that was first made by our early ancestors.
Cows.
Yes, James, you're learning. We're going to visit another local man, Dennis Gwatkin.
My friend Dennis makes cider and he makes perry.
Cider is made from apples.
Yep.
And perry is like cider but made from pears.
Well, yes, actually that's pretty good. It's made from perry pears.
Can I just make a confession?
Yeah.
I've never drunk perry.
Ever?
Never.
It's a very ancient British drink.
There's a bit of a problem, which I've never told you about, which is the first time I ever became catastrophically drunk and then vomited my very viscera out was when I was 14 or 15 at a party, and it was on slightly nasty cider from a big brown plastic bottle. And since then, I have never ever drunk any cider.
You're not serious?
Seriously.
Oh my God.
I barely look at the stuff.
I do want to try and persuade you that cider is a fantastic drink, but maybe I'll leave it slightly later. Today we'll do pears, and my friend Dennis is one of the most important people in getting this resurgence going, because he makes perry which really tastes good.
And as he's one of your posh establishment drinking mates, he is at least not going to be some great big hairy bloke with a huge red beard.
How you doing?
You're Dennis Watkins.
I'm afraid so.
How'd you do?
Hello.
Dennis,
How are you doing, all right?
Does it always rain in Wales, is it true?
This isn't Wales. Herefordshire.
Is it?
Yes, borders.
It's not Wales.
Oh, no, it's 5 miles that direction.
Is that it?
This is the mill and press, which we press the perry on.
You can't be doing this now, because even as a rabid townie, I know that pears aren't ready in August.
No.
October, aren't they? Or...
No, it's same as cider, it's October, November time. And they're special pears, they're perry pears.
There's a special type of pear for making perry.
And it's grown mainly in the 3 counties of Hereford, Worcester, Gloucester, and the Welsh borders, Monmouth and Radnor. And that is basically it.
Well,
So
that's
you can't...
what terroir's all about, James. The sense of place. I need to convince James...
So let's get this straight. Wrong season, no pears, we're apparently not in Wales anymore, and it's raining. Again. In August. This is a brilliant holiday. Does it ferment in these barrels, or is this storage?
It's natural yeast. You just pump the juice in, it's left to ferment. It ferments for about 2 months, and then it takes another 3 or 4 months to mature. It's made in the traditional sort of recipes we've been making perry in these parts for, hundreds of years.
It's quite sort of rustic.
Oh yeah, it's just the proper job.
And just get that smell, James. That's not the smell of a laboratory. That's not the smell of people in white coats with degrees from universities, is it?
No.
It's yokels.
Here in England.
Oh, fantastic. Can't wait for a pint of that, then.
A word of warning. Perry is not the same thing as pear cider. Pear cider is apple cider flavoured with pears. Perry is all pear. And so, bizarrely, was Baby Sham.
Oh, I'd like that glass.
The baby sham one.
Yes, very good. Cheers.
You know, you're the first man I've ever seen to hold a Baby Sham glass.
I never...
And not be thrown out of the pub.
I thought the little glass might remind people of a happy time in the 1970s when everything was rubbish.
It's smashing. It's got lovely sweetness of fruit. It's got real tannin coming in there as well. Yeah. And it's got this wonderful bitterness and that slight sort of what I always think of sweet sour lift on it, which makes the difference between commercial sort of pap and really good sort of single vineyard, single farmyard stuff.
Can you buy perry like yours in a typical supermarket?
No, there's just not enough pears in the country.
So even if there was an explosion of enthusiasm for perry across the nation, you wouldn't actually be able to satisfy with the real thing.
No.
To give everyone a drink.
You need 30 or 40 years' notice.
Yes.
I love it because it seems to be a grand tradition with a very regional nature to it, which actually you can't copy remotely successfully.
No.
Because you've got to plant perry trees for your grandchildren.
Pears for your heirs. That's what they always say. No, no.
A minor triumph for me there, not being sick on his rustic floor. Where to now, Oz?
To the campsite, James.
Can you make that stupid music stop now, please?
Sorry.
After a long, hard, wet day, all we want to do is sit in our homely caravan and relax. Sadly, there's no TV, so I'm reduced to watching TV's Oz Clarke attempting to assemble his bed.
This is the dining table, which we have enjoyed many repasts on. It can become my bed, and it shall.
I think you have to squeeze. Exactly.
Okay, I don't need any help, thank you very much.
I think it works. It worked quite well in 1978, but it's warped a bit since then.
This is a fantastically bad piece of British workmanship.
You've done it. Congratulations. So, Oz, competition time tomorrow. When exactly are you going to bottle your beer?
Bloody hell.
Good morning. Today I'm going to triumph in the big brewing challenge. However, it all depends on Oz getting his concoction bottled and us making it to the beer festival. That noise is coming from the Caravan Stabiliser bar, which is...
No excuses, James. Get a move on. I've got a competition to win.
I am really looking forward to this. Have you ever been to a beer festival before?
It always struck me as being slightly weird.
Why?
Well, because they're a bit strange shorts, satchels, notebooks, beards.
Yep.
Criticism, that's meant as a compliment in a way.
I think it is a compliment because it means that they're not just run-of-the-mill people. They're normally passionate, they're normally focused, they're normally fiery, they're normally intense, and sometimes slightly strange.
And it manifests itself in sort of odd clothing and strange facial hair arrangements.
That, unfortunately, is sometimes the case, but you shouldn't talk about the female brewers like that.
Right. Time is tight, but we need to get the caravan looked at by a proper mechanic. Better safe than sorry. There's precious cargo on board. My beer. Something's fallen off, if you hadn't noticed.
That is a frightful, frightful noise.
I'll sort it out.
Good.
You stay there and look after the car.
If I'm discreet, I could use this time to learn how the hell I bottle my beer.
Hello. Could you lower yourself to looking at a very old caravan?
Bit of a strange combination you've got going on here.
What, a Rolls Royce with Oz Clark?
Well, yeah.
Bottle your brew after 4 weeks fermentation. Tricky. Mine's hardly had 4 days.
If you like, I can pay you in cash or I can give you a bottle of Yorkshire wine.
Cash and wine.
No, I was really thinking cash or wine.
You haven't been to these parts very often, have you?
No.
I may actually have left all this a bit too late, but I can't let him know that.
You both sleep in this at night?
Yeah.
Together?
Not together.
No.
We both sleep in there at the same time.
Does it not get smelly?
Yeah?
Yeah?
It's fairly smelly to start with, to be honest. It's had 30 years of,
Abuse.
camping, flatulence, copulation, birth, death, all the things that Elliot went on about. It's for sale when we're finished, if you're interested.
Another copper out of it.
No, you can't have that. That's mine.
Damn.
I managed to get away, handing over a couple of ales and some tut wine for his trouble.
Watch the door.
Thanks. Is that bust as well?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Thank you very much.
A couple of hoppy ales.
Thanks for your help.
Oh, that's fine.
Caravan, check. Beer, check. Oz in passenger seat, bollocks.
We're going to this beer festival, James. Our beers are going to be judged by a panel of 7 beer experts. Your expertise, soi-disant, if I may say so, is going to be judged. My imaginative, innovative approach to brewing is going to be judged. And let us see who comes out best.
Yes, I think it's very fair. After weeks of preparation, or minutes in Oz's case, the hour of judgment is upon us. My modern beer versus Oz's mock Tudor brew. Youth versus experience. Student versus teacher.
Look at that.
Impressive.
Yeah.
You're going to put it in bottles?
Yeah.
I'll help you.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Reasonable. How are you going to do it?
I'm going to shove it up here.
Where?
And I just...
Don't put that on the... Do not put that on the cup, you Philistine. Trust me, I'm a brewer.
Okay. James, you'll be delighted that we still have lots of my beer left, which we can enjoy.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Very shortly, there will be a judging of beers made by Oz Clark and James May.
Yeah.
These beer experts have been hand-picked for many reasons, but mainly because this one has a bottle opener. It's a blind tasting, so they won't be put off by this bloke's haircut.
Afternoon.
So we're looking for appearance, for aroma, taste and aftertaste.
The appearance is disappointing.
See the face that woman pulled when she tried my beer? She's laughing at it.
What was she burst out laughing?
Personally, I'm not getting anything from it. It's just that alcohol hit. It's huge.
There is signs of promise, yeah?
Yes, signs of promise.
There is some signs of promise. And, you know, to be fair, it's quite palatable. I could drink it.
Bloody hell, they've opened another one. They must like it.
Usually with a bottle conditioned beer, even if you gave it a good shake, you wouldn't get beer quite this cloudy, would you?
No point in looking at them. We know they're cloudy. Don't rub it in.
Are these judges as good as they're cracked up to be? Will they pick up on my eclectic mix of ingredients?
Oh, ginger, yes.
Something else with it. Coriander?
Something a little bit kind of nettly.
Nettly, yes.
Yeah, like freshly crushed foliage.
Oh, they're still pontificating about it. Oh, he's taken out the piece of paper. He's writing something down. He's smiling.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to announce the winner of the face-off. We'd like to have tasted these beers after they'd had settled for probably 2 or 3 more weeks. However, we have got a winner. One beer we felt was high in spices. We're getting ginger and orange from it, but we felt it was slightly overpowering. The other beer was balanced, but it was heavier. So, the winning beer was Oz Clark's with 139 points.
Now, what I'm about to do is a bit below the belt, but Oz Clark, champion of brewing integrity that he is, has to be revealed as a fraud. Are you aware that his was made with a tin of malt extract?
Are you aware that his was made with stolen malt, stolen hops, stolen yeast?
Borrowed.
Yeah, that's what I think of it.
You're both crap at making beer, okay?
We're not. We've just got potential. It's just not been realised yet.
Should we have a pint?
Yeah, let's have a pint.
Right, anybody else for a pint?
Now, we're wrapping up this leg of our journey of discovery in Gloucestershire. And I think there's been something sadly absent from our lives for some time now.
Is there anything you've been missing over the last few weeks?
Proper bed, functioning cooker, shower cubicle and lavatory, not occupied by 3 blokes I've never met.
Anything on the drinks front?
Wine.
Wine! Yes, wine!
Are we going to a vineyard?
We're going to a vineyard. I just thought...
joy!
Don't mock. Wine is truly British and has been so for 2,000 years.
It's not unlike yourself in that respect.
And been going hard at it for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Wine is one of England's best-kept secrets. Astonishingly, there are now some 400 vineyards in England and a couple in Wales, pushing the cork into around 2 million bottles every year.
It's a vineyard.
This is a vineyard.
Wow.
This is one of the finest vineyards in England. 75 acres of vines on the Gloucestershire hillsides.
This is the Three Choirs Vineyard, and we're meeting Thomas Shaw and Martin Falk, who battle the great British weather to produce exceptional wines, if they actually get any grapes.
So what are these here?
Well, these are Madeleine Angevine, a variety good for cool climates.
Just going to say, it doesn't take so long to ripen.
Yeah.
Great. This could only be a vineyard. The vines, the slope, the terroir, and TV's Oz Clark talking rubbish.
Yeah, I found some grapes.
There we
James.
are.
Are you surprised? It's a vineyard.
I know it's a vineyard, James.
Oh, bugger, sorry. I was
That's
just
the
meaning...
whole crop gone.
I'm sorry, I just meant to pull that one off. How do you actually make wine in a country that rains in August? This year being the wettest August.
It's the wettest August on record. It's somewhat tricky this year, but you know, we use varieties that are suited to cooler climates, more marginal climates.
Potatoes.
No, not potatoes, for goodness sakes. Have you tried potato wine?
Yes.
I have actually. Yes.
Yes, we have.
surprising.
It's absolutely disgusting.
The key for us in this environment is that we need a lot more leaf than a lot of other areas that you might have been to.
So are we saying in England, because the sun hitting the leaf is what creates photosynthesis, which creates all those sugars in the grapes, you actually need more leaves per bunch of grapes than you would in, say, the south of France?
Exactly.
So air is also an important thing.
Yeah.
To call it sort of nature's antiseptic, would that be fair?
It'll be, very good. Wind we term as being bad, airflow we term as being good.
That's why boxer shorts became very popular.
nice gentle airflow.
It stops fungal
If wind
buildup.
speed...
Right, let's go.
Lots of different varieties will produce different sorts of flavours, different sorts of alcohol levels, different sorts of acidities.
I think that much is fairly obvious about wine, isn't it? It's made from grapes, you put them in a bucket, you stamp on them to get the juice out, it becomes wine. Robert's your mother's brother, you go into the tasting room and try it. It's time we went inside and tried a glass of wine.
I think
I can't put it more bluntly than that.
It's becoming fairly essential.
Well, that was a wonderful vineyard experience, thank you. I enjoyed it.
I'll tell you what, this weather today is not that different from Champagne, because Champagne's a miserable bloody place most of the time. It's always raining and everyone's complaining and all this and that.
I thought you might like to start with a bit of sparkling.
Anything to warm us up.
Okay.
You got any hot sparkling wine?
No.
Yes.
Very English sort of
And it
experience,
tastes
being on a
not
terrace in the sun, with a glass of sparkling.
Yeah.
What, watching the sunset over the distant hills. It's one of those kind of, you think this has got to be very cool climate, very light, sort of limpid fragrance.
Peaches and the pink prawns from the pick and mix you get from that.
Absolutely not.
It is.
I grant you a bit of peach, but it's lovely fresh peaches, nothing to do with your pick and mix.
Pop open the Pinot Noir. Time for a red.
It's a little bit red opal fruit as well. To continue my sweet.
Here we go again. I think you must have had more pocket money than I had, because
they
I
have
don't
Parma
remember
violet
most of
oil
these
in.
Maybe now that you're a paragon of adulthood, you might prefer to spend your ready money on something like this fumé made from the Céval Blanc grape.
You see, fumé on an English wine nowadays, it means it's had a little bit of time in an oak barrel.
That's a wine fact that we should record. Fumé on an English wine means it's been in an oak barrel.
I got the flavour of custard.
Custard is a definitive British character-building flavour, so I think a custardy wine is something to be commended. Now that it's been open for a bit, exposed to the air of England, high notes and low notes, I would say, are freshly laid tar macadam, coal dust, hot lubricating oil, and hard-working metal. But all the things I identify in it are the smells of the things that defined the British Isles. And they're there, rather absurdly, in a glass of wine.
The spirit of England.
Britain. British Isles.
In a more marginal climate.